with the latest talk about everything under the water. You're listening to Shell Yeah on Utter Radio.
Morning, you're listening to Shell Yeah, the show where we take you deep into the water to talk about everything from fish and films to rare finds and fantastic facts. My name is Phoebe.
And I'm Jess. Coming up in today's show, we've got plenty of interviews, one with a sea life representative and even a deep sea diver from Australia. Isn't that exciting?
It definitely is. So we also have a quiz lined up for the end of the show, which you can stick around for and play along at home. Make sure you stay tuned, but before we dive in, it's over to Sophie with the news and weather.
Our top story today, MPs have failed to back Brexit proposals for a second time, with the Commons voting on 4 motions for leaving the EU on Monday. These included a customs union and a Norway-style arrangement, keeping the UK in the single market, but none were able to gain a majority. Theresa May's deal has now been rejected 3 times, and she plans to meet with her cabinet this morning to discuss the next stage of the process. The executive producer of Blue Planet has defended the decision of the presenters and scientists on the show not to interfere during the live release of sea turtle hatchlings, despite several complaints as a seagull snatched one of the newly released turtles on its way to the ocean. One of the show's scientists, Robert Webb, stated that, as cruel as it may appear, it is nature doing what nature does, and the hatchling will become important food for the growing chicks of that gull. And Everton are investigating an alleged incident involving England goalkeeper Jordan Pickford after footage on social media appeared to show the 25-year-old involved in a confrontation on a street. The club have stated that they are looking into the matter. And tributes are pouring in for the murdered rapper Nipsey Hussle, who was shot dead outside of his clothing store in Los Angeles on Sunday afternoon. Many artists, including Drake, Rihanna and J. Cole, have posted kind words on social media for the star, with the mayor of Los Angeles stating that he was an amazing father and leader in his community. And finally, Philip Schofield was left having to assure his followers of his age after Chris Moyles decided to play a cheeky April Fool's Day prank on him, encouraging his Radio X Breakfast Show listeners to tweet the hashtag Happy 60th Philip Schofield. The 57-year-old Schofield tweeted back at Moyles, giving him a jokey telling off and sending the hashtag not 60 for a while yet. And now your weather. Sunny spells today and showers becoming more widespread through the afternoon. Some of the showers could be heavy with hail and thunder and perhaps a little wintry over the hills. Tonight, clear spells and increasingly well-scattered showers. Some lengthier clear periods possible later in the night, but there will still be a chance of an isolated shower. A lot of dry and fine weather possible tomorrow, just a few well-scattered showers with many staying dry and southeasterly winds developing. It'll be turning milder on Friday and into the weekend, looking closer detail, with Friday being dry for the most part, but will also mostly be cloudy. Saturday looks largely dry with sunny spells, but turning cloudier on Sunday with outbreaks of rain and drizzle.
Starting again on the 20th of April, You Swim is an organisation that holds open water swimming events for the public. It aims to get people involved in swimming and appreciate the environment. The idea to have people in the open waters inspires them to take a look at how they treat local areas. Huge cleanups of the locations take place prior to the swim and all throughout the event. They stress the care they must take.
Swimsuits and equipment are available for hire or purchase, along with constant supervision by lifeguards in and out of the water. Members who are taking part are able to swim in the open waters as much as they please. They have the freedom to get in and out of the water at any time, taking breaks that suit them. The freedom encourages people to exercise at their own speed and comfort. Salford Quays and Clipper Quays were both part of the largest urban regeneration project following the closure of the dockyard in 1982.
Recently, both quays have been plagued by non-biodegradable plastics and other materials that may affect the sea life.
We sent Ruth Buchanan to talk to Hannah, a graduate from the University of Chester.
How do plastics and other non-biodegradable materials affect sea life?
Sea life can be affected in 2 main ways. The first is that sea life can often become trapped or tangled in waste that we put into the ocean. This degrades slowly or in some cases not at all, and therefore this can be a long-term issue for some sea life. The second way that animals can be harmed is by ingesting microplastics. These are produced when plastic slowly degrades over long periods of time. And these particles are too small to be seen by humans and too small to be filtered through water treatment. These are then eaten by smaller plankton, which are in turn eaten by larger fish and then eaten in turn by larger predators, such as seals, meaning that all marine life within the food chain has in some way ingested microplastic pollutants, and therefore all marine life is in some way affected by plastic and waste that we put into the ocean.
How do non-biodegradable materials cause the death of sea life?
So large plastic and general waste can lead to sea life death, as animals can become seriously injured by sharp debris, such as plastic straws or cutlery. Smaller fish can sometimes become trapped in things such as plastic bottles or sandwich bags. Larger animals and fish become stuck in netting, beer rings, and plastic bags. This in turn can lead to starvation, as this can stop some of the animals from accessing food that they need.
Can you think of an example of a particular type of sea life that was affected by non-biodegradable materials?
All sea life is affected in some way by plastic. Most commonly, sea life such as sea turtles, seals, sea lions, marine birds, whales, plankton, and even corals are all found to have been significantly impacted in some way by the plastic that has ended up in the oceans.
Let's get into our quick-fire film facts of the week. If you've not heard of this show before and have no idea what this is, we have a list of facts from a bunch of water-based films, and Phoebe and I have a minute to tell you as many as we can whilst underwater. Remember, when you hear the dolphin, that means we have 30 seconds left. At the sound of the dive, Phoebe will start us off. Let's do this.
The film Jaws, the shark was named Bruce after Spielberg's lawyer. During a cast and crew dinner, Roy Scheider started a food fight. George Lucas got stuck inside the mechanical shark's mouth.
In the Titanic, the scene where Jack and Rose were in the water, it was filmed in a swimming pool, and Kate Winslet didn't want to wear a wetsuit during the water scene as she got pneumonia. A first-class ticket cost $150, which is now $1,700 today for a simple berth bunk.
The first Pirates of the Caribbean film was the first movie to be premiered at Disneyland.
Finding Nemo, the movie's art team went through marine training prior to production to find the true look and feel for the characters of the world. Dogs were used as models for the animation for the film, eyes and facial expressions.
Shark Tale was originally called Shark Slayer but changed last minute, and it's the 9th highest grossing film in 2004.
SpongeBob SquarePants movie was originally supposed to be called SpongeBoy. An 11-foot David Hasselhoff figure was built so the cameraman could film without straining the real Hasselhoff. Fine on the Nickelodeon animated movie to be released in VHS. SpongeBob Patrick Sea Creatures breathe the air.
So we just scraped that one.
Fine. Oh, God, that was hard.
Yeah, but you got there in the end. So we're lucky enough to be joined by a live guest with us on the show today. She's a guest experience member working at Sea Life Manchester, so please welcome Charlie Carty.
Hello.
So Charlie, could you tell me about some of the more common species in the ocean?
Yeah, of course. So in UK waters, sort of commonly you find like dogfish, which are like a really small species of shark. And they're basically just known to just eat anything in the sea. So they will just eat anything that they can get their mouths around, basically. Also in UK waters, commonly you'll find minke whales, which are the smallest species of the baleen whale family. They're often seen like off the coast of Scotland and stuff like that. Obviously then the more common ones are the ones that you all know. So things like the blue whale, which is the largest animal ever known to exist. And then the killer whale, which I only found out the other day, called an orca. It's not actually a whale. It's technically a dolphin, and it is the largest member of the dolphin family.
Wow. Oh, yeah. So could you tell me about some of the more rare species?
Of course. So one of my favourite sort of rare species is called a cookie cutter shark. Really, really weird looking kind of shark, sort of like long and thin and brown. And he's got a little circle mouth, so what he does is he attaches himself onto the side, onto the body of like a big shark or a big whale, twists his body in a circle, and then leaves a perfect circle of meat that he's pulled out, so obviously a bit like a cookie cutter, which is where he gets his name from. scientists and stuff, they didn't know he existed. So there was whales and sharks turning up on the beach with like circle holes missing. Nobody had any idea why until about the 1970s, and they figured out that it was this little dude just going around eating his dinner really sneaky. Also quite rare as well is the Napoleon Wrasse, which is like a big massive blue fish, big lump on his head, also known as a humphead wrasse because obviously of the hump on his head. He can grow to be about 9 feet long, and he can actually change his gender as well. So if he's in an environment where they need a male to populate the species, he'll be able to change his gender from a female to a male to help with the conservation of the species.
Oh, that is strange.
Before. That's very strange.
Could you tell me about more of the endangered species?
Yeah, so the most common one that obviously you hear about all the time at the minute is the turtles, so more specifically the green sea turtles. So obviously that's endangered and stuff like that. It is actually illegal to harvest their eggs because they're so endangered, but people still do it. And actually the population that's in the Mediterranean, they get over harvested and over farmed and stuff like that. So there's less and less turtles going into the ocean, which then obviously affects the number of turtles that is out there overall. The blue whale is also actually quite endangered. Climate change has made the numbers of krill decrease really heavily, which is the food that the blue whales eat. So obviously if there's not enough food for the blue whales, which are massive, then they're just going to die and they're not going to have enough food to eat in the oceans and stuff like that.
Oh no. So tell me, what are the biggest factors that affect the living conditions for these animals?
So at the minute it's things like their loss of habitat due to pollution in the ocean. So chemical pollution is a big one. Really affects the reefs and stuff like that, which is obviously where their food grows. And then like in turn with the loss of the habitat is then the loss of food supply. So if they've got nowhere to live and they've got nothing to eat, then they're not going to be able to breed and populate. There's things that people can do, just tidying up after yourself when you go to the beach, taking your rubbish with you. Don't use plastic bags, don't use straws. We do beach cleans with Sea Life, so about once a month. I think the next one's on the 23rd of April. So we just go down to Blackpool Beach or Formby or any other beach that needs cleaning and just go and just pick up all the rubbish we can find, so then it's not ending up in the ocean then.
Oh, that's nice. Moving on to like a bit more light-hearted question. What is your favourite sea life animal and why?
So my favourite animal that we have at Sea Life in Manchester is our GPO, which is a giant Pacific octopus. So she's really, really cool. Her tentacle span, so like from the end of one of her tentacles to the other, is about 9 feet. So she's really, really long. She's absolutely massive, but she doesn't actually have any bones. So her beak is about the size of a 10-pence piece. That's the only solid thing in her body. So if she can fit through a hole that's as big as a 10-pence piece, then her entire body will fit through it. So she's really, really cool in the fact that she can get into really, really small spaces and stuff. And also she can change her colour and her texture, like of her skin. So if she's on like rocks that are white and bumpy, she will make her skin white and bumpy so that she blends in and camouflages with the rocks.
That's interesting. So following on from that, what's your least favourite animal and why?
I don't think I have a least favourite animal at Sea Life. The one that actually scares me a bit the most is the lionfish that we've got. We've got like 7 lionfish, and these guys are really, really dangerous. So if you were to be spiked by one of the spikes, then you would actually probably have to go to hospital because they're really, really, really dangerous.
Well, thank you very much, Charlie, for joining us.
Welcome.
And Charlie's going to be sticking around for the quiz, so stay tuned for that.
In 1977, the US National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration recorded an ultra-low frequency, high-amplitude sound in the South Pacific Ocean, west of the southern tip of South America. The sound was heard at listening stations underwater over 5,000 kilometres apart and was one of the loudest sounds ever recorded under the sea. After a sped-up recording of the sound went viral, it became nicknamed the Bloop, and conspiracy theories began to evolve.
The original speculation was that it was an unknown creature of the deep, with the NOAA stating the sound wasn't man-made but was possibly biological. The bloop was recorded at only 1,500 kilometres from the place where, in H.P. Lovecraft's short story, the sea creature Cthulhu first emerged, leaving many convinced the sound was the monster communicating. NOAA now claim it originated from glacial movements, but who knows? Perhaps Cthulhu is out there lurking around.
Oh, that's scary. We will be interviewing deep-sea diver and surfer Molly Gilbert, who lives in the Golden Coast in Australia. We will be asking her about what kinds of sea creatures she sees regularly while surfing or diving, if she has ever seen any rare creatures while in the sea, any scary encounters she has had with wildlife while partaking in her hobbies, as well as tips for beginner divers and surfers and how to keep safe when in the sea in Australia. We have already spoken over the phone, and we shall be holding an interview over the Easter break.
So now on to the quiz. We have Sophie in the studio who's going to be our quiz master for the show.
Hello.
So let's begin.
Right, beginning on question 1.
Oh, actually, do we want to have our own buzzers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be...
What does a blue whale sound like?
Ooh.
You like this? Ooh. Okay, let's go.
Wait, Charlie, what's your buzzer?
Oh, I'll just say hello.
We've got hello.
Ooh.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, question 1. So most people are familiar with the biggest shark species, the great white shark, that terrified us all in Jaws. But what is the smallest shark species? Is it A, the pale cat shark, B, the dwarf lantern shark, or C, baby shark?
Baby shark?
No. No, that was in fact a popular YouTube video.
Oh. Was it B?
It is B, the dwarf lantern shark. It is only 7.9 inches or 20 centimetres.
Oh.
Clues in the name.
On to question 2. So this question has 4 options, just to shake things up. Now, there are a lot of wacky species out there, but which of these is not a real sea creature? Is it A, the flamingo-tongued snail, B, the red-lipped batfish, C, the short-finned toadfish, or D, the warty frogfish?
Hello. A?
No, the flamingo-tongued snail does exist.
See?
C is correct. The short-finned toadfish was one I just completely made up. Number 3. Sharks are one of the most infamous sea animals out there, and National Geographic even does a whole week dedicated to them. But approximately how many known species of shark are there? Are there A, over 200, B, over 300, C, over 400, or D, over 500?
Over 400?
Indeed, correct.
Hey.
There are actually 440 approximately known species of shark.
Wow.
So you guys are obviously very smart, but what is considered to be the smartest sea creature?
Ooh.
Is it A, the sperm whale, B, the bottlenose dolphin, or C, the octopus?
Hello. The octopus.
No, but it is considered to be very smart.
Hello. It's B.
The
dolphin.
Yes, the bottlenose dolphin, and they're actually considered to be among the most intelligent animals in the world, not just in the ocean. But the sperm whale does actually have the largest brain in the animal kingdom, and it weighs in about 17 pounds on average.
Ooh, that's heavy.
But that doesn't mean they're very smart. They're still just dumb whales in the ocean. Question number 5. Now, just because they're my favourite animal, we're going to have another question on dolphins. So what is a female dolphin called? Is it A, a sow, B, a delphine, or C, a cow?
See?
It is indeed a cow. The males are called bulls and young dolphins are called calves.
That's so weird.
So
Ooh.
that brings us to the end of the quiz.
And do we know who won?
Yeah,
Who got
won?
the most answers?
I think it was Jess.
I think Jess won there.
Okay. So, Jess, we actually have a surprise bubble lawnmower that Greg James took, used.
Oh,
so
right.
you can have that.
Oh, thanks, I
and
get a
it's
prize.
underwater themed as well, so it's all good. So that brings us to the end of the show.
Tune in next week where we'll be talking to a former member of the Royal Navy and chatting about the latest underwater technology.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram if you want to get involved with the show, and check out our Shell Yeah website for more information and of upcoming events. So we hope you've enjoyed the show. If you have been listening to Shell Yeah on Utter Radio, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.